Hello everyone, this is Jim Okerzinski with this week's lecture video. This week's video might be a little short. I'll just talk about a few things. I want to remind everybody first off that in order to qualify for the peer review process, you must have a draft. That is 80%, as you can see here, in order to qualify. First draft must be 80% of the essay's final word count. So in this particular instance, in essay 2, just like in essay 1, we have 1,000-word minimum for the final draft, which means that your first draft should be around 800 words. Submitting a 400 or 500-word first draft does not allow you to qualify for the peer review process. So I want to emphasize that as we move forwards. Please review the grade center. If you see something off with your grade, I always comment about why there is any adjustment in your grade before emailing me. So reviews are due Friday. I've gone through and graded and assessed each first draft and peer report that was uploaded as of right now. So be aware and take a check of the grade center. So one item I do want to talk a little bit about today is about how to write a peer review. Now remember, this is not an editing session. I've mentioned that in the past. Also, that we're looking at the holistic type of revisions, right? The global revisions, the big ones, right? So the idea here is that, the purpose behind the report is for you to engage with the class. So I'm looking for at least a solid paragraph reflecting on your activity, and then really three significant items. I mean, be descriptive in describing them, not just, give me 3 words like grammar, organization, whatever. I think the class and everybody needs to understand that what it is you need some help on. And if you look at it and you come up with some 3 significant items that you want your peer reviewers to offer you feedback on, then you've dug into your draft a little bit more. All right. So that being said, if you're writing a peer review and you're reading a draft, you have to engage with the report. That's the point behind all of this activity. So your first work should be looking at what's written by the writer in the report, and then engage and answer those questions and enter a dialogue. And then you move on to the questions and the prompts. Be aware that if you're just answering the questions and the prompts and you're not engaging with the report, I'm not giving full points for that activity. There has to be some conversation about the report. So please be aware of that. And also, when you review the essay, I've been very clear in my expectations. You have the organizational outline, right? We've gone through the organizational outline. Make sure the writer's introduction is basically follows along with the outline. Is the summary adequate? Is it accurate? Okay. Nothing is more frustrating for me to read an essay where the writer refers to Mike Rose as a she. Okay. Um, Nobody says anything in the peer reviews because that's the first place I look. Make sure that as much as possible you can help the writer by being accurate. If there's something that is missaid about Uncle Joe or Rosie or any other parts of the summary that are not accurate to the article, then please point that out. Help your classmates along. The idea here is that you should be able to determine at this point what is an acceptable introduction, whether it's the background introduction about Rose, okay, the anecdotal, a story, and then does the writer stay on task until the conclusion about offering their feelings in blue collar work. Do they fall in any of the traps? You should be able to identify the traps at this point. So I believe it's critical that when you write a review, you see something, you must say something, right? So the idea here is even for example, when we refer to authors, we refer to them in full name. Mike Rose, all right? After that, it's just Rose if you want to just use the last name. Nobody knows Mike Rose personally to be able to use the first name only in any academic writing. In fact, when we work with authors, we always use full name to begin, and then after that, it is always last name. All right. So if you see these particular tendencies and become aware of them as you're reading the draft, please point those out along with answering the prompts and replying to the report. All right. So help each other out. And then the writer, I have to say, if it's your ability, then and it's your responsibility to look at it and make those revisions prior to submission. Okay. So that is peer review. Everybody should still be working on those. If you have any questions, send me an email. And as always, be safe. Good luck.